So today I'm going to talk about prescription drug abuse and why it is a temporary high. What is prescription drug abuse? Prescription drug abuse is known as the intake of prescription medication intended for someone else or for a different purpose. Why does this pertain to you? Well, you may ask that, and I'm going to answer that. So, many people take prescription drugs to lose weight, fit in, or feel better, or study more efficiently. So, as you can see, this backpack right here, and then the pills, it's like common for many college students. So this is a graph that's displaying prescription drugs and how they compare to other drugs, and how commonly they're abused. So you can see here that Adderall is pretty high up, and then marijuana is probably the most violently abused at 35%. According to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, at justice.gov, the big problem is that 2 out of 5 teens believe prescription drugs are much safer than illicit drugs, which is just not true, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And some of the more commonly abused drugs are painkillers, suppressants, and stimulants. These are the 3 types. So for the painkillers, you have opioids, such as codeine, morphine, oxycodone. These cause drowsiness, problems breathing. Next, you have depressants, like Xanax, Valium, Vyvanse. These slow down brain function, heart and respiration fall. And then next, you have stimulants. These cause anxiety. So, if you look at a picture of this guy, this is kind of just outlining all the effects on the body, side effects. This is just one example of oxycodone. Because there's so many side effects, we could be here till next year talking about all the side effects of every prescription drug, because there's so many of them. So this picture right here displays stimulants and how they affect the brain, and they act very similar like cocaine, affecting dopamine cells. So you can see in the top picture, cocaine kind of leaves in this thermodynamic picture right here, some kind of heat, and that the methylphenidate, which I'm guessing is related to Adderall, works very similar. The point of this is to show that many of these drugs are seen as safe, but really they're not. That's a common misconception. They're just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than many illicit drugs. Next problem with prescription drugs is addiction. Addiction is very common, and the problem with addiction is that, according to Melinda Smith at helpguide.com, painkillers can lead to addiction because you can develop tolerance to them, which requires more and more, and then that can lead to overdose. Go back. Never mind. Another thing with addiction for depressants is that addiction is common due to serious withdrawal. So people take more and more and more and more, and then they end up going to withdrawal, and the side effects are pretty bad, very severe. So they have to take more and more where they develop a tolerance. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse at nida.nih.gov, withdrawal causes the brain to race and spiral and rebound, which can eventually lead to seizures. So it's just a picture of showing the possible penalties for selling Adderall. Penalties differ state from state. So my main point is that, like in Billy Madison, don't do drugs. And that's why prescription drugs are a temporary high.